So in space,
Okay,
they're
next
still
up
great.
on the next up on the crew member merry-go-round, Cortez.
Yes, grates, Chris. Ventilation grates. They're venting the air from the inside of the way.
What have you got?
No, they're moving air.
They're pretty much there just to filter out all of Vega's sweat.
Like, Dios? He's just coming out with fucking Dios? Like this guy has any Hispanic identity whatsoever?
The Citadel's economy is still running.
Well, his last name is Cortez.
No, Vega.
Oh,
When
vague.
I network to a new store,
Speaking of Cortez,
Yeah.
Cortez is basically the new Joker because we don't do a lot with Joker.
Cheaper to buy supplies.
Yeah, really.
So you're my
Joker
chef.
got a girlfriend, and now he doesn't hang out with us anymore.
I wasn't assigned to
You know,
solve these
I have to
pilots.
admit, in my
Not
first
much need for
playthrough
one
of this
a dry
game,
dock
I
job.
didn't notice
I was
him
overseeing the
standing
retrofit
here.
of the car
I literally, I never wanted to come down all the way down here, so I never wanted to come all the way down here. So I ignored Vega and Cortez, and I was even laughing at the game. I'm like, they make such a big deal about the shuttle pilot, and he doesn't even have a name.
I'm also
And then my second playthrough, I discovered there's an entire character I'd overlooked, and I felt really bad. And he's kind of interesting. He's got some stuff going on.
I'm an only child.
Okay, so Vega
He-
does
he actually puts
speak
a-
Spanish.
Yeah.
I had a
He
husband back when I
and
was stationed at
Cortez here actually puts a little
Collectors
more
took out the
human
whole
face on the disaster. He
I'd rather
lost.
not talk about it.
I forget how his husband died, but it was
Yeah,
due
he's
to the Reaper.
Yes, Commander.
He's also notable for a reverse on BioWare's no gays in, or no gay men in Mass Effect stance, where we haven't really
Yeah.
seen anyone like that. Everyone can like Asari, but apparently guys can't be gay.
And they
Um,
said Shepard just isn't gay. Male Shep is not gay, and now you've got two gay. You can go gay with Cortez, and somebody said you can go gay with Caden.
yeah, you can definitely go
Gaiden,
gay
yeah.
with Caden.
Gaden.
Yes, well, yeah, actually, the interesting thing about that romance is that apparently he has a weird fetish where he likes to dress up as a ninja in the bedroom.
Oh, here it comes.
Where's the weird part?
No, I'm just gonna leave it unstated. Yeah, you guys can figure it out.
You're not gonna do a fucking Amnesia episode thing on us again, are you?
No,
That I swear that's
the
not
pun
gonna
is
work.
completed,
Ninja
Josh. If you didn't,
Ninja Caden.
Shut up!
I just
I want to hear
didn't
it.
want to leave.
Jesus
Because otherwise
Christ.
the comments everybody will repeat it 100 times and it will just
Everyone's gonna repeat it 100 times anyway.
The echo will be worse than it's like pulling off a band-aid. Just get it over with and you're done.
So
Okay, so now we're finally ready to start this game.
Oh yeah. Okay, so apparently, while Earth was getting hit, Palavan was getting hit, except more.
does anyone else hate the fact you can't skip those cutscenes?
The travel. Yeah.
yes,
Those are
that
loading
does get-
screens,
that-
though.
Yeah. But there's a loading screen on the either side of it,
Actually,
or in
no, I
between
want
those
you
loading
to-
screens too.
Where's
so it's
something
kinda
useful?
weird.
let me clarify. Now, when I say I hate that convention, obviously, as I've said, I have not played the game, so I can't actually, I can't exactly say if I would hate it in this game. But one of my pet peeves is unskippable cutscenes of any length, especially ones that recur over and over again. I don't see why they still have a place. Here's the thing, game developers, is even if like the cutscene takes the place of a loading screen, like a silent loading screen, people would probably rather just have the option to skip to the loading screen.
The other thing is, in a few years, when you come back to the game and you've got a much faster hard drive, or you got the whole thing on some kind of solid-state drive, and you don't need loading screens anymore, you still got to watch the whole little movie. This was a big problem in Mass Effect 1, where people upgraded their computers, and there shouldn't be any loading screen anymore because the hardware can handle it, but it makes you wait for this loading screen anyway.
So here we see that the Turians are not only apparently way better at this whole Reaper fighting thing than the Alliance military, they're also getting their planet killed a lot harder. So I don't know. The whole Save Earth thing seems to be like, maybe we should be helping these guys out first.
Humans are special.
I mean, their whole planet is on fire!
This did bother me because, again, I felt like this wasn't this wasn't good strategy. If our goal is for someone to survive the attack, I mean, just for the galaxy to hang on and to make sure that each species lives on, then having everybody give up their home worlds and getting them to dedicate their fleets to helping the lost cause that is Earth. I mean, it seemed like I didn't even want to ask anybody. That seemed like such an outrageous thing to ask, to do. It was so unreasonable and bad strategy to use your resources so inefficiently. If we're really uniting, then we should probably unite behind the guys that are doing better than us, not them behind us.
James, open that hatch.
That's what I always thought I was doing, except they kept bringing up Earth.
Did you see that shit when she pulled out the gun?
I missed.
She pulled out
just
like
didn't
a
happen.
collapsible
Josh is really
stock,
far ahead.
and
What?
and
Oh, I
Something's
just saw
fucking
it.
off.
wow, that's a
It's a
problem.
turret section. Anyway, I always thought you were doing it for the Alliance, and just you place this really weird undue emphasis on Earth.
For the Alliance. Yeah, but why? I mean, you're always like, hey, can you send some ships to Earth? We need your help. Oh, we can't spare any. They're all busy here. And that, I agree with you, Chris. That's kind of what I thought we would be doing, but it was always... and at the end of the game, it's like, okay, you've got this big fleet. Let's go retake Earth, which was the whole marketing campaign. And I always thought that was like a really stupid thing to do. Unless you're I mean, that might be a good Renegade Shepherd thing to do. Like, screw the other races. I'm going to try and do what's best for humanity.
Thank you.
Josh, why do you need to get up there?
Because I don't like going around things.
Wow, you must
Wow,
have hated
that-
New Vegas.
That awesome button sure is awesome, isn't it?
Fuck this awesome button. This is the unawesome button.
It really is.
You know, I don't know if I've said this on Spoiler Warning before. I know I've said it to everyone else, but I actually, like, met the awesome button guy before he did the awesome button interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he was giving a presentation for Dragon Age 2 at PAX 2010, and I was in that
Did he
presentation.
keep making? Did he keep making explosion noises and jumping over things?
If only.
Look how fast I can run! Woof, 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 woof. Oh, box my way! Ah, shit! Oh, fuck! Oh! Oh!
What the fuck? There's a whole bunch of salvageable stuff here. So
That was the most beautiful piece of theater I've ever borne witness to.
truly, you are the new Shakespeare.
I'm a one-man sound effect library. Like one of the really shitty ones that came out in the 80s, where there was like 50 sound effects on one
Oh,
CD.
this isn't the commander.
Marketing tends to carry crazy things like the awesome button way too far, though. I mean, it was a dumb thing to probably say, but
men up on that north barricade.
if it was an internal name that was just sort of referred to because we're just making it, you know, if we can't figure out a place to put it on the controller, throw it on the awesome button, you know, because we're just putting it everywhere. And then it leaked to the public, and then it became sort of a thing.
General Cortez.
Yeah, and I'm not against the awesome button in principle, but it's not actually an awesome button. It's just this weird context-sensitive mess. So, I mean, I think to a certain extent, that guy gets a lot of flack, kind of unfairly. If the awesome button worked the way it did in, say, in Saints Row the Third, I don't think anybody would be complaining if you had a button that let you finish off an enemy with a giant biotic explosion or something, or if you did a badass move.
Okay, so this is already like 15 seconds in the past or so, but I like how you get the option to be all sympathetic and say, I'm sorry for your loss, after you say, well, that complicates things.
Big loss for everyone.
Just made my life a lot harder, okay.
So what happened?
Man, I was gonna like go get some groceries after this. I had to pick up my laundry from the cleaners, but apparently I gotta deal with this bullshit. I'm sorry for your
With
loss.
such heavy casualties, it's hard for me to be certain who the next Primarch is.
I mean, I'm sure your grandma was a nice lady and everything, but jeez.
However, at the moment,
Jesus.
contacting them is impossible.
So
Why
the
does this always
Primarch,
happen to me?
Power is out.
who is
Everything
sort of the
always happens
Tyrian
to me.
Emperor, is dead. What is problem? Now we got to find the next person in line with succession. We can't do that until we can contact Palaven. You know, the planet that's getting slagged, that's getting glassed up there, which doesn't. Aren't the Reapers supposed to be harvesting these people, not annihilating them?
Let's go.
Whatever. So now we have to repair a communication satellite to talk to whoever the hell is left on that planet that still wants to talk to us. That is not a climbable ledge, apparently. But this one is.
Am I the only one that
Yes.
thought it was really odd that you come here to ask for their help, and your first thing is to begin looting their camp? You just walk around taking shit?
Not really. I mean, it's an RPG. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, no,
I know.
nobody else cares.
Fine.
All your shit is belong to
Shut
me.
up! Your verisimilitude isn't needed here. This is a shooter RPG game thing. With
If
no
it wasn't in
inventory.
the context of this desperate fight for survival, and this was just like, yeah, here's a little extra military supplies that fell off a truck. But here you've got this desperate fight for the home world, and you just come through and take everything that isn't nailed down. It just struck me as very funny.
It happens with the Krogan.
Funny enough that
too.
you didn't do it, Seamus.
No, I might have accidentally grabbed a few things, but it was only because the awesome button. I was trying to, you know, sprint, and I accidentally picked up every single object in the area.
I've noticed that in Mass Effect, you know, we've been unfairly calling this the awesome button. It's not really called the awesome button, but it just kind of fits. I don't think BioWare ever used that particular terminology to refer to this,
Right.
but it's the awesome button. But I noticed that the awesome button doesn't do as much as it used. Like it's actually mapped to more functions than in Mass Effect 2. But in Mass Effect 2, if you were sprinting and you walked by a pick-upable object, you would actually pick it up without having to mash the button at all anymore. And now you do. James, you repair the tower. You presumably have more tech skill than the biotic archaeologist Shadow Broker. So.
Here they come.
So, this is probably a question for the people who have engaged in the extended Mass Effect universe, but if part of what the Reapers do is harvest species for quote-unquote preservation to complete the cycle, how come their only attacks are with reaped people and harvested people from the existing races and not, you know, Protheans?
That's an interesting question. I actually, before the game came out,
the collectors.
I actually wondered if we'd see new kinds of husks, and we actually do. We're actually going to see a new kind of husk here in a bit. But yeah, there is a bit of that. Well, if you do this, then why don't we see some from previous cycles? That would have been interesting, but it also would have been expensive.
I will say it's a lot more fun to watch Josh play this than it was during the Mass Effect 2 season. Maybe I'm just saying that because I haven't watched the 10 millionth goon get splattered by a shepherd charge.
It never gets old, really. It doesn't.
Comm tower is now operational.
It gets more complicated too. There's compared to
A
say
little
Alan
bit.
Wake, there is a lot more enemy variety here.
Your men till I hear from you.
Oh yeah, and they
To
not
be
just
fair,
like,
you don't
oh,
have
here's
to
one with
do
more.
much to get more enemy variety than Alan Wake.
Yeah, and they've got a variety of attacks. They're not just like, oh, here's one with shields and here's one with more armor. They've got different, you know, some of them shoot, some of them rush you. It's a pretty good mix of stuff that makes you mix
What
up
I
your
don't
tactics.
understand is the husk delivery system, which seems to literally be stick them in molten rocks and throw them at planets.
Works for the orcs,
Commander Shepard, come in.
I guess.
Go ahead.
I don't know if they retconned that
Warhammer.
part of the orc theology yet, Warhammer 40,000? Shut up,
Yeah,
Mumbles!
we know we know what it is. We just nobody here watches that except you and apparently Mumbles.
Yeah, I don't play
Watches it,
World
I
of
mean,
Warcraft
play the
anymore.
board game.
I don't play World of Warcraft anymore there, Rutskarn.
Do I have any shotgun mods? Sweet.
Initializing Shepard's butt display.
Wow, I think it actually respawned. I think someone came by and dropped a bunch of upgrades off. He's like, "Huh, where'd all our new weapons and upgrades go?" Well, okay, I guess I'll put these here then. So I'm
I'll
just gonna
scatter
run by
these
and pick
around.
them all up again.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that thinks that Reapers would not actually be that effective at destroying a planet?
They do have
Elaborate.
the text. Yeah, well, I mean, they've got that beam, and they actually go down. I mean, how long would it take you to color in a piece of paper with a pencil? Like a piece of poster board. Like, okay, there's no challenge to it, but you're going to be there a while. And that's kind of what they're like with their little laser beam of death. Trying to kill everything on the planet, you know,
Garrus.
one laser blast at a time.
And
It's like
now the
trying to-
least justified appearance of Garrus yet in this series.
It's like trying
Okay,
to
happens to be
so Mumbles
on the same
is
moon that
almost
we're
off
at.
today. So I'm just going to impersonate Mumbles for a second. Shut up! It's Garrus. You don't need a reason, okay? It's Garrus.
This is Garrus Vicarian. He helped me
What were you
Mumble,
saying,
mumble,
Chris?
mumble, plot excuse. Garrus.
Is Mumbles
That's
in
all
your
you need to
room?
know.
Is Mumbles at your dorm, hanging out, recording spoiler warning with you?
Garrus.
General
Garrus.
has filled me in. We know who we're after.
I was just going to say that the Reapers, what they do would basically kind of be the equivalent of having a laser pointer that can kill ants and dig 5 feet into the ground, and killing all of the ants on the continent of North America using that laser pointer. And even if you got 4,000 people doing that, that's still going to take forever.
It does
Yeah.
sort of support the idea that they're actually trying to harvest the life rather than wipe it all out.
Strategy.
Although, wouldn't
And
it
to be
make
fair-
more sense to go down and indoctrinate, just park and indoctrinate the crap out of them, and then
Well-
round them up?
So if you gave me a Reaper laser, what I would do is I wouldn't use it to kill people. I would use it to destroy infrastructure. I mean, honestly, if you know what you're doing, a couple orbital laser strays could pretty much kill civilization as we know it. Like maybe 7.
Rebels attacked the
8.
Solarians,
Yeah,
and when
you
both
blow up
groups had
a few
won
crucial
the ground,
power-producing
Victus pulled
things,
back in.
and all of a sudden, all the technology
Yeah.
breaks,
Bold strategy.
and everybody's
Internet
dying.
I will say that there is a precedent for the idea that Reaper cullings take a very long time, and that was in the first game.
Yeah.
Like Vigil kind of.
Yeah, I don't have a
Vigil
problem with
Vigil,
first game.
but Vigil kind
Who
of
remembers the first game?
implied it.
No, not the developers. No, I don't have a problem with it taking a long time. I have a problem with the Reapers not looking like they're using their resources efficiently. They look really inefficient. Like you see them actually blasting individuals with their death beams, and it is like, okay, I want you to kill this beehive. Here's a fly swatter. Have at it. It's like, don't we have anything that can get this job done better?
Yeah.
I need the Normandy standing by. We may have to.
I mean, if you took out the power stations and then maybe destroyed the atmosphere somehow so that the sun couldn't get through, and then basically blockaded the place.
You stay with us. Go send the noob back to the ship.
He went to bolster a flank that was breaking.
I mean, you essentially have like an old school siege.
We're trying to raise him, Commander.
Yep.
You said destroy the atmosphere, though, and I thought that the Reapers didn't want to remove the ability of a planet to be hospitable, because then they wouldn't be able to reap anybody from that planet ever again.
Well, they kind of do that anyway.
Victus will rendezvous here. In the meantime, let's go take care of whatever that thing dropped off.
There's evidence that they wipe out some planets that I guess they're not going to cull by just throwing asteroids at them.
Hey, Vegas, some muzzle discipline? Do you mind not pointing your gun directly at Shepard's midsection?
I don't credit Vega with that much intellect.
I know we were
He
making
looked
fun
like
of
he
the
was
whole.
just kidding. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I know we were making fun of the whole Garrus thing, but it makes sense that he would come here. I mean, last we saw him, he was being
Garrus
like
lasted exactly 2 seconds in this fight before going down in his
You didn't
first
level him
fight on this.
You didn't level him up.
Oh,
it makes sense
shut
that Garrus
up.
would
I don't
come
have
along.
to do that.
It makes sense that Garrus would come along, but I think what Josh was saying is, what if we want to bring Garrus and Liara rather than Garrus and Meathead?
The first few levels of this game are very, very strict about who goes where. You know, you send Vega back so that you can have Caden and Ashley, or Caden or Liara, or Ashley and Liara, Cashley and Liara. And then you send Liara back so you can have Garrus and Vega. So I guess
Can I just say
so
that
you can get a
Cashley
nice
sounds like
spread.
Cashley sounds like a health kind of his breakfast cereal.
I'm gonna have a bowl of
You
Cashley.
mean Kashi? Because that exists.
It does. I mean,